locker. Never knew I had an option to check his locker. That's crazy.
Not to smash in your face. What the hell are you doing in my locker? Come on, man. We're friends. Calm down. Friends don't spy on each other. Get off me. Sometimes, John, I can just punch you.
Why do you have that pen, Jake? What mess are you in? Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that?
O'Leary's men told me a while ago.
Okay, let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
I could tell your friend Sonia. Does she know?
Don't you dare. All right. You win, pussycat. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job, and it's been a while. Then O'Leary shows up and offers me a bodyguard contract. What was I supposed to do?
You could have said no.
Yeah, like you never take, shady business.
I'd never take a job like that. As a matter of fact, I turned one down today.
Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning widows. And I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract, paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
Yeah, you're right. The fact that his business is illegal doesn't turn you into a criminal. We're only accountable for our own actions. But that's not what bothers me. I know you're covering up O'Leary's role in Joe.
Huh? O'Leary? No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Jake, please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. I'd left the damn thing in my locker.
Say no more. You came in the back door.
How did you... Yeah, that's it. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot. I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold.
What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
See, I knew you'd be mad.
Obviously.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
Don't worry. We all make mistakes. Time to go. I need to think about everything you just told me.
Thanks, John.
Alright, now we're cooking, guys.
Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
Everything seems to point in that direction. I'm certain of it.
But... couldn't he? In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she suddenly defending Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Do I know you? I don't seem to remember your face.
Well, maybe you remember my boys. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Oh, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
What kind of help do you need?
A simple exchange of information. You're a good detective, and let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk.
All right, then. Let's work together.
I thought you'd be hard to convince, that you'd appeal to the moral high ground or something. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply 2 grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
It's illegal, for starters.
Illegal? Let me tell you what should be illegal. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country. A place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, let's just say I sympathize with their cause.
Fair enough. You sure look the part. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right, I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
You might have a point. In certain cases, civil disobedience is both right and duty.
Exactly. And when you hear just how I've transformed this business, you'll agree even more. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. Not good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
Yeah, the 2 of them.
Bastards. But don't you worry. I'll have a talk with those 2. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. As I said before, I like to help people so I can count on their gratitude. That applies to fellow partners like police or, in this case, a detective. I won't deny this business has its fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties, but I'd rather leave that to my enemies. And you are not my enemy. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you, I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, you can honor our arrangement and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Colbert! Wilson!
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life.